welcome back to the channel, and today we're looking at a box from RetroWax. This comes to us from Ohio from Slaters Cards, and this is the first time on this channel. I hope you like this. This is like 25 packs between the years of 1982 and 1994. Now there will be a cheat sheet in here to give us an idea of what we are looking for. And let's see here. Let's start with that. So, some of the key ones we're going to get is a 1983 Donruss. We can look for Wade Boggs, Tony Gwynn, Ryan Sandberg. And these ones that are authenticated, if they say they're authenticated, then, they've been, from the Baseball Card Association. And then we have a 1986 wax pack. Nolan Ryan, second year. Oh, Nolan Ryland, second year. Roger Clemens, second year. I think it's supposed to be Puckett. And it's loaded with Hall of Famers. Then you got the 1987 Donruss wax pack. Barry Bonds, Bo Jackson, Barry Larkin, Mark McGwire, Maddox, Greg Maddox. A lot of good rookies out of that 87. 87 Fleer wax pack. We got the Barry Bonds, the Bo Jackson, the Barry Larkin, so on and so forth. 87 Topps, Barry Bonds. So we got at least 3 chances to get a Barry Bonds rookie card. Then we got 1989. We got a chance to get a Ken Griffey Jr., Randy Johnson, Craig Biggio, Kurt Schilling. Then 1989. Oh, that is the one that we could get the Billy Ripken F-Face. If you know what that is, pretty good stuff. And we get an additional unopened packs from 1982 to 1994. There's 25 plus packs in this box. All right, so let's see what we got. All right, we'll pull these out and then we'll go through them. Ooh, we got a rack pack. All right, and then we'll see what we got one at a time here. Oh, feels like we got 3 rack packs. What? No, 2 rack packs. All right, oh, we got one of these Topps Big baseballs. All right. Oops, slight technical error there. All right, so we got Topps. What year is that? 1987 Topps. Whew. Let's see here. Dave Winfield, All-Star, Carl Best, and Andy Hawkins. So we got one of the subsets. We got an All-Star card right there. All right. And let's see here. We got another one here. Oh, it's from Donruss. And this is Donruss 88. All right, so that's just a standard one. I think that the Topps 87 rack pack. Yep, that's one of the prestigious ones. All right, moving on here. We have the Topps Big Baseball. All right, we know this one. We got a 1990 Fleer. That's going to be nice. That's going to help us with our current set we're working on. We got a 1989 Score. We got a 1991 Fleer. We got the... What year is this again? The 1990 Donruss. Here we have a 1991 Donruss, I believe. Series 2. We got another 1991 Score. We got a 1992 Donruss. We can look for an Ultimate in that one. We got a 1994 Fleer Ultra, not bricked up at all. We got 1990 Upper Deck. We got a 1989 Topps. And there might be a Griffey in that one. I don't know. We'll put that over there anyway. And we got 1991 Topps Stadium Club, Series 1. We got a 1992 Topps Stadium Club, Series 1. We got a 1991 Upper Deck. And last, we got a cello pack here. 28 cars. This is, what is this, 1989? 1989 top solo pack, which is not listed on here, but 89. I guess there's possible for a Griffey in that one. Then here we got we got the 89 Donruss Wax Pack. That would be looking for that King Griffey Jr. in there. We got an 86 Topps. That's that Nolan Ryan. Second year Roger Clemens. Second year Kirby Puckett. All those good guys. We got a 1987 Fleer. That's the Barry Bonds rookie. Bo Baxton. So we got some good rookies in there. I think this is the 87 Donruss. We got Barry Bonds, Bo Jackson, Larkin, McGuire, Maddox. Here's that possible error card in there. And last but not least, we got a 1983 Donruss. That's that one with Wade Boggs. That might be our best one yet, so we'll probably save that sucker for last. All right, anyway, let's get into this. Where to start? We're just going to start on the top here with our 1991 one 3D Team Hollow logo per pack, 15 baseball cards, random sequencing, tamper-proof pack. Well, let's hope so. All right, let's get into this. Let's have some fun. Let's see what cards we actually get. All right. All right, so there we go. We got Marty Barrett, Boston Red Sox. Always looking for the Red Sox. The Bashing Years. There's a Mark McGuire. All right, and then we got Eric Anthony, Houston Astros. Kirk Gibson, Kansas City Royals. Ellis Burks, Boston Red Sox. Hell yeah. Oh, please be. Oh, I hope the hologram's the Boston Red Sox. I'll be so happy. First one. Pete Inclaviglia, Detroit Tigers. Steve Bedrosian, Minnesota Twins. Mark Knudsen, Milwaukee Brewers. Julio Machado, Milwaukee Brewers. Jack Howell from the Angels. Got a White Sox here. Charlie Huff. Ozzie Smith, that's a Hall of Famer. Let's see what we got here. We got Fred McGriff, the Padres, not bad. Scott Bradley from the Mariners. And we got Luis Sojo from the Angels and Detroit Tigers. But that's still a pretty nice little, that's a pretty nice sticker there. All right, so that's it for your 1991 Upper Deck. All right, we'll go through that. We'll see if we got anything spectacular. In the meantime, moving on. We'll save that one. We're going to go here into our... you know what? We're going to stick with Upper Deck. We're going to go into our 1990 Upper Deck. A minimum of one 3D hologram per pack. One. So there could be more than holograms in here. Limited edition, high quality cards, 15 baseball cards, counterproof. Okay. And let's see here. Win. Oh, we can get 1991 season tickets to a stadium of your choice. I wonder if everybody ever won that stuff. I know I never won anything like that with any of the packs I opened up. All right, then moving on. Let's see here. Upper Deck always has some really nice cards, though. Look at that. Pascual Perez, 1990. That's the Expos. Brad Kaminsky. Got Jim Clancy. Kirk Gibson, the Dodgers. Chuck Carey, New York Yankees. San Diego Padres. Mark Parent. Tom Candiotti, the Cleveland Indians. I guess they're the Guardians now. Gary Wayne, the Minnesota Twins. Oh, then here we got this. Got a Pirates 3D hologram. If you catch it just right, that's pretty nice. Next up, Kevin Mitchell, the Giants. Cincinnati Reds, Jeff Reed. New York Rangers, Jeff Russell. The Giants, Greg Litton. Matt Murillo, Chicago White Sox. Bob McClure from the Angels. And last but not least, we got a Bob Nepper. Not much with that one, I don't think. But still, it's a lot of fun. I love this. All right, next up. I don't think we have any more Upper Deck in here. Next up, we're going to move over here to the 1991 Topps Stadium Club. Sorry, my backdrop is slipping. All right. These are always really nice cards. A lot of times they get bricked up because of the extremely glossy nature of the cards. This pack just does not want to let me get into it. All right, if you hear yelling in the back, I apologize. I have a loud family. All right, next up. Okay, we got Matt Noakes. Look how beautiful these cards are. But they're not stuck together by any stretch of the imagination. Todd Zeile. Next up, we got Jose Canseco. Nice. That's a good one right there. Might be the best card in the pack. All right, next up, Doug Jones. Here we got Stadium Club bars for each book postage. Oh, Stadium Club members. To qualify for Charter Club membership. Nice. All right, next up. Actually, I'm going to use that to separate them. Benny Santiago. But, I mean, look at this. These are just beautiful pictures. Charlie O'Brien. Juan Gonzalez. A little stuck, but not bad. Eddie Whitson. They're not bricked. They're just kind of like a little bit stuck. Randy Myers. Greg Harris. Milt Thompson. And finally, Kent Hrbek. And one thing about these, on these ones on the back, they do have their like rookie cards. So these are pretty cool. Probably won't get much into that until we actually like start getting enough of them to have a set. And then I'll probably do a video highlighting like the set. So, but that's it for your 1991. Next up, 1992 Series 1. 15 premium picture cards. And these ones don't feel like they're too bricked up either. Nice. All right, all right. Let's see what we got here. All right. They have the rookie cards on these ones still too. Club membership 1992. Paul Gibson. Beautiful cards. Look at that. Oh, we got a checklist. Cards 1 through 100. Hey, at least we got the first checklist. That's pretty cool. John Burkett. Or Burkett. We got Kurt Manwaring. Gino Petralli. Chili Davis. We got ourselves a Chili Davis. Dave Cochran. Rich Gedman. Brian Holman. Mariners. Athletics. Mike Bordick. About ready to make that stop. Eric Karros. There's his rookie card. All right, next up. Brian Harper. San Diego. Darren Jackson. Philadelphia Phillies. Steve Lake. And finally, nice. Carlos Quintana, the Red Sox. Love the Red Sox, so I'm always happy when I get those. All right, moving on. We're just going to keep going down the pile here. We got 1994 Fleer Ultra. No set order here. We're just going to have fun. I think we already opened a 1994 Ultra, and it was pretty bad. This one's not bad at all. Julio Veras, New York Mets, rookie. They are kind of stuck together. Chad Curtis, California Angels. Chuck Finley, California Angels. Brett Boone, Cincinnati Reds. We got a Jose Rijo. Got a Biff Roberts, San Diego Padres. Dave Stanton, San Diego Padres. Rick Aguilera, Minnesota Twins. Shane Mack, Minnesota. Yeah, these ones are a lot better than my other pack. My other pack was like, I had to freeze them. They came out okay. Not too much paper loss, but they were really... Blue Jays. Roger Salkeld, Seattle Mariners. These are also... They started making really nice cards. Was like in the early 90s. Early 90s, they really switched how they were making cards. And they started making a lot nicer cards. Colorado Rockies. Like with these like very photographic and very like glossy ones. I mean, look at that shine. And these cards look beautiful. This one here has a little bit of a tinge on the corner, but New York Yankees. And of course, it's a Ryan Sandberg Career Achievement Award. Ryan Sandberg. I guess it's not that bad. Nice. All right, moving on. Donruss, Series 1. Well, maybe we'll get an Ultimate. I've never seen anybody pull an Ultimate on any of these videos, so I don't even know what they look like. But maybe we'll get one. All right, first up, Luis. And look, these ones. See, they're not as. These ones are even. These ones are even a little bit glossy. These are 1992. Donruss. Luis Sojo, Glenn Braggs, Henry Cotto, Travis Fryman, Greg Myers. Yeah, these are so much easier to go through. Rick Cerrone, Eddie Taubensee, Kevin Morton, Red Sox, Brian Smith, Cardinals, Scott Blanchard, the Mariners, Ruben Sierra, All-Star, Rangers, Chris Haney, Expos, Ron Gant, Shane Mack, the Twins. Oh, and we got a Diamond King, Paul Molitor. Well, that is a nice looking Diamond Kings. Number 1, Paul Molitor. And we got puzzle pieces 25, 26, 27. We're actually going to see if we can complete these puzzles. I would like to complete them and hang them up on my wall. Why? Just because. All right, moving on. We're going to go to a score, 1991 score. These were like some terrible packs, but you know, we've opened score before because we got the hockey. So this will be our first baseball score that we're opening. Score. All right, oops. Again, nice 91 score. Wally Brackman, Dave Righetti, Scott Fletcher, Jeffrey Leonard, Mark Whitten, Kevin Wickender, Rafael Valdez, rookie prospects, Scott Champerino, Lance Blankenship, Lou Whitaker, Gary Wayne, Jeff Russell. Here we have, I'll look at that in a minute, Alan Anderson, Dave Stewart, Kenny Rogers, and Rick Aguilera. No real names that jumped out at me. Here we got World Series Trivia 1914. So here we got number 46 of our trivia cards. And a lot of people just throw these, but you know what? Since I collect to collect, we're going to hang on to that. All right, moving on. We got ourselves 91 Donruss, I believe. Series 2. This is like the good old-fashioned wax. Can almost smell the wax as it gets stuck to your puzzle pieces. So terrible. So terrible. Ugh. But that's all right. That's okay. That's part of the fun. All right, and this is 21. Willie Stargell, 21, 1920, 21. All right, let's see here. Oh, you know what? I do like these green cards. Larry Anderson, Jeff Perrett, Joe Orsulak, Ricky Henderson, nice. Roberto Kelly, MVP, second base, MVP card. Highlights, Eddie Murray. Yeah, see, Donruss, they had like a lot of like in-series subsets. Eddie Murray, Brent Nackett, Felix Jose, Steve Balboni, Sid Bream, Paul Abbott, Tommy Green, Ted Higuera, Charlie O'Brien, and Brent Maine. So we didn't get squat out of that one. But here we got another Donruss. Oh, and then we're going to get into one of my favorite but hated overall sets coming up. The only reason it's one of my favorites is because it's kind of where I started collecting. But anyway, here we have the Carl Yastrzemski, 40, 41, 42. Oh, we got a Diamond Kings in this one. We got John Smiley. He's even smiling. Number 17, Rolando Runes. Brian Harper. Is there anything about 90 I know? No, not yet. Tom Henke. Eric Hansen. Steve Avery, rookie. Steve Wilson. Keith Hernandez. Bill Spears. Craig Lefferts. Bob Walk. Got a Griffey Jr. Julio France. Terry Poole. Matt Williams and Charles Fishley. Was that a second year? Yep, we got ourselves a second year Griffey. Not bad, not bad. All right, and moving on, we have 1991 Fleer. You know, this one is, I like this set, but this is like one of the most hated sets ever because of the yellow border. Personally, I liked it. I like this set, but this was the first set of baseball cards that I actually really started to collect with. And so this was kind of like the first packs I bought were this. So, you know, think of that what you will, but let's see what we got here. Kind of discolored, but Gary Carter, Jaime Navarro, Dante Bichette, Jeff Montgomery, Jack Morris. These ones are a little bit hard to collate too. Greg Hibbard, John Orton. Got another Ricky Henderson. That's 2 Ricky Hendersons today. Mike Stanton. Daryl Boston from the Mets. That's not bad. We didn't get any provisions though, so that's kind of sad. Dennis Lamp. Kevin Hickey. Phil Planter. Red Sox. That's always nice. And Darren Lewis, Athletics. And we got a Houston Astros sticker. So that is it for the 1991 Fleer. And at some point in time, we're going to go through all of these cards. We're going to get them put into our database one set at a time. And see where we go. Next up, all right, we got our cello pack here. This one's nice. 28 cards, 1 stick of bubblegum. I don't see the bubblegum, which makes me wonder if this was resealed. There's no bubblegum in here. And I'm just saying, I'm able to do this. So this could have been a searched pack right here. No bubblegum. 29 gum cards, 1 stick of bubble gum. Oh, no, there's the gum right in the middle. Never mind. Yeah, we're not going to eat that. I'll add it to my hockey bubble gum over here on the side of the desk. All right. Any rate, so this is, what year is this? This is 1986 Topps. And I got nothing about this one. So let's see here. Let's see what we get. Claudell Washington. Mike Hart. I like these cards, though. I got a bunch of these in the collector's edge ones we've gotten. Dodgers. Ken Landreau. Phillies. Luis Aguayo. Cardinals. Jack Clark. Gary Thurman. Kansas City Royals. Mickey Tettleton. Athletics. Jerry Don Clayton, the Royals. There, Mike Greenwell, All-Star rookie, Boston Red Sox. Rob Sebra, the Expos. Dale Murray, the Atlanta Braves. Jeff Redmond, Atlanta Braves. Jim Sundberg, the Cubs. Ken Daly, the Cardinals. Spring Fever Baseball. Shane Mack, the Padres. Jim Traber, the Orioles. Lloyd Mosby, Blue Jays. Danny Heap, the Dodgers. Bob Patterson, the Pirates. Eric Show, the Padres. Bill Matlock, the Tigers. Brett Butler, the Indians. Tim Conroy, the Cardinals. Jerry Russ, the Angels. Dave Palmer, the Braves. Johnny Ray, the Angels. And we got Tim Raines' All-Star card. And then we got Ken Dixon, the Orioles, and then the Pirates, Mike LeVallee. All right, that's it for your 80. I need my magnifying glass, but I believe that's 88 Topps. All right, moving on. We got 1989 Score. Loving this. Oh, man. These packs are terrible. You got to, like, really shred the packs to get to the cards without damaging the corners. And granted, none of these Score like really super valuable, but still. Darryl Strawberry, nice. That's a pretty good one. Cal Ripken Jr. What? Damn, that's 2 All-Stars like back-to-back. Charlie LeBrant. Barry Bonds. This is a great pack. Rafael Ramirez. We got Ted Takes Triple Crown. 1942, A Year to Remember. Jeff Robinson, the Tigers. Gene Nelson, Athletics. Ivan Calderon. Mark Grant. White Sox, center field. Dave Gallagher. Will Clark, nice. Dwayne Murray. Tim Jones. Greg Sheffield. And Ron Robinson. Not a bad one. We got, a Strawberry, a Cal Ripken Jr., and a Will Clark. Not bad. All right. We know this one. We love this one. 1990 Fleer. This one we're collecting, so we might get a lot of duplicates in this one. Who knows? But there is the... Oh, we got an All-Star. Nice. This is our first All-Star. We got it from our retro pack. Nice. So we don't know if we got these. There's a possibility, again, you don't know, just because it's an authenticated case, we don't know if there's any errors in this one because, we don't have the number, but the box number, okay. All right, so look like Major League Prospects, Greg Smith, Stu Tate. That's a new one. Oh, no, this is 1990. This isn't the FAs. That one's over there. All right, Mickey Hatcher. This one has, does have an error card, and I believe that the 90 is yellow, but... Rick Leach, Tim Burke, pitcher. Brett Saberhagen, pitcher. Carmelo Martinez, outfield. Steve Balboni, designated hitter. Rick Roden, pitcher. Jim Abbott, pitcher. See, a lot of these, we get pitcher after pitcher after pitcher. Dave Stibe, pitcher. Dave Parker, designated hitter. Steve Jeltz, infield. Mike Flanagan, pitcher. John Smiley, pitcher. Kirby Puckett, nice. There's an All-Star. This is actually nice. And we got a Howard Johnson, third base, 1990 All-Star team. It's our first All-Star insert we've gotten from it, and we got it from our RetroWax box. Nice. Moving on, we got a Topps Big Baseball cards. These ones are slightly larger than the others. These are kind of cool. We've got a few of these that we've gotten in random orders when we've been buying like cards. So it's stuck in there. Man. There we go. Alright, these ones, again, these ones are like a little bit bigger. Atlee Hammaker, Robin Ventura, Damon Berryhill, Brett Butler, Steve Lyons, Paul O'Neill, and Eddie Whitson. And then on the back of these, you have like little cartoons. Pretty cool. But again, they are, if you look at these, they're both wider and a little bit longer. So kind of hard to actually like file away into a binder unless you have like extra large pockets. But at any rate, next up we have some more Donruss. This is 88 Donruss. And we got, looks like Rob Nelson, John Farrell, and Lee Getterman. So nothing major. And then, of course, we got not one, not two, but 3 sets of the puzzle pieces. All right. Ooh. It didn't work. Oh well. Alright, we'll get these out and then we'll go through them. I'm having a lot of fun with this. It's harder than crap in this office, but still, I'm having loads of fun. This video is a bit long. I apologize for that, but it's my first one and my first RetroWax box. I'm just trying to enjoy it, so bear with me. Alright. We're gonna do this. These are all the cards we've gotten so far. Look at that nice huge stack. Got to sort through that later. Plus we got a couple of those trivia cards, and we got our big cards. All right, and our backdrop is slipping. All right, here we go. All right, so the Gooderman, Ozzie Guillen, Scott Lusader, Jim Sundberg, nice Cal Ripken Jr. Diamond Kings, Mike Boddicker, Darnell Coles, John Moses, Willie McGee, Ellis Burks, Pat Pasio, Jimmy Quirk, Willie Upshaw, Bob Nepper, Bobby Meacham, and we got 52, 53, 54. John Farrell, rated rookie. Sean Abner, rated rookie. Tim Higuera, Don Robinson, Greg Gagne, Ken Caminiti, Ron Guidry, Charlie Puello, Dwayne Murphy, Randy Bush, Mike Jackson, Kevin Seitzer, MVP, Gus Polidor, Steve Buscemi, Walt Terrell, and we got 61, 62, 63. Did anyone ever actually finish those puzzles? I'm just curious because I know I never did. All right, Rob Nelson, Jesse Barfield, Darren Dalton, Steve Sachs, Tom Prince, Jeff Parrott, and Eddie Van Slyke Diamond King, Joe Magrain, Ken Phelps, Ken Daly, Frank White, Bob Stanley, Dennis Rasmussen, a Bob Welch Diamond Kings, Tracy Jones, and we got cards 1, 2, and 3, puzzle pieces 1, 2, and 3. And this year it is Stan Musial. So not bad. Pretty good. All right, now we're getting into the second half. Well, a little bit less than the second half, but now we're getting into our more elite ones. We're going to start with our possible error pack. We won't know, even if we get it. We may or we may not. But It's the first one of these we've ever opened, so let's enjoy it. That's, you know what? We got Boston Red Sox. That's a good sign. And look, Boston Red Sox, Dennis Lamp. Vance Law. Dan Plesac. Dan Petrie. Glenn Larkin. Danny Jackson. Jack Morris. Again, we're looking for, I think there's a Randy Johnson with some, but then we're looking for that Billy Ripken. Mark Davis. Kenny Harris and Marty Brown, prospects. Danny Heap. Jeff Kunkel. Come on, come on. Jeff Perrette. Oh, we got him already today. Got a George Brett. Nice. That's an all-star. Greg Harris and Rick Rhoden. So, no Billy Ripken sighting, but that's all right. It was a lot of fun anyway. We'll put that in the pack, the stack. All right, moving on. We have our next Donruss, 1987 Donruss. And looking back at our cheat sheet here, we got Barry Bonds, Bo Jackson, Barry Larkin, Mark McGwire. So we got some 4 pretty good rookie cards in here. All right, let's see if we can be lucky and get any of them. All right, we got 22, 23, 24 of Roberto Clemente. All right. Neil Heaton. Don Schatzeder. Ernie Camacho. Tom Nadenfuhr. Willie McGee. Rick Leach. Another Rick Rhoden. We got him in just last pack, I believe. Andre Galarraga. A checklist. Brian Clutterbuck. Eric Davis. Brett Saberhagen. Juan Berenguer. Come on. Goose Gossage. And Ron Kittle. All right. Nice cards, not the ones we're looking for. All right, moving on. We have a 1987 Fleer. And in this one, same Barry Bonds, Barry Larkin, Bo Jackson. So we got another chance to get some decent rookie cards. Maybe we'll be lucky. Maybe. All right, let's see here. Ooh, there we go. Mariners and the Cubs. What? And Minnesota Twins on the back. That doesn't make any sense to me, but okay. Fleer is kind of weird sometimes. All right. Mookie Wilson. Charlie Kerfeld. Mike Witt. Andy Van Slyke. That's a pretty good one. Rudy Slaw. Ron Say. Rob Murphy. John Russell. Gene Garber, Don Slott, Calvin Schiraldi, Bob Stanley, Dave Dravecki, Harold Baines, Brian Olikers, Juan Bonito, and Doyle Alexander. All right. Didn't get him in that. All right, moving on. We got 1986 top. Actually, we're going to save that one for a minute. We're going to go to this Donruss here. All right. 1989 Donruss. Ken Griffey Jr., Randy Johnson, Craig Biggio, Kurt Schilling. Oh, shit. There's a few in there. There's a couple in there I would not mind getting. Oh, thank God it's John Holton. What am I getting, a Randy Johnson or a Kurt Schilling? They went on to the Arizona Cardinals, so oh, nice, it came off. All right, and we got puzzle pieces 25, 26, 27 of Warren Spahn. All right, let's get some luck here. Jeff Pico, Tim Teufel, Mike Dirkbeck, Kurt Manwaring, we've gotten him tonight. Dave Labonte, Gary Templeton, Fred McGriff, MVP, Luis Alicea, Terry Poole, Stu Cleburne, Mark Grace, Diamond Kings, Jeffrey Leonard, Jose Bautista, Paul Gibson, and Brian Holton. Again, striking out. Next up, we have a 1989 Topps. Ken Griffey, Randy Johnson, Craig Biggio. So, you never know. We might get him in this. We got some nice, delicious gum. Some nice cards. I like the look of these cards. All right. Got checklist. All right. Tom Browning. Gene Walter. Darnell Coles. Sid Fernandez. Mets leaders. Greg Harris. Chris Carpenter. Mike Greenwell. And another Red Sox. Cecil Fielder, Blue Jays. Darrell Hamilton. Got a Greg Maddux. That's a nice one. Bruce Sutter. Not bad. Rance Smolkins. And Mark Grace. All right. Okay. We got 3 left to go. We got our 87 Rack Pack. Also Barry Bonds. We got our 83 Donruss. And we have our 89 Topps. We'll start with our 89 Topps. All right, 89, Ken Griffey, Randy Johnson, Craig Biggio. Let's see what we got here. Got that delicious gum. All right. Oh, yeah, these are pretty nice ones, too. Pretty nice design. Mark Salas. Lou Thornton. Tony Perez, Ed Vandenberg, Jesse Barfield, man, they're up and down. Tim Flannery, Greg Brock, Win Your Spring Fever, Mike Jorgensen, Bob Baylor, Britt Burns, Brian Dayette, Storm Davis, Junior Ortiz, okay, Mark Hill, and Mike Krupkow. All right, nothing really screamed out at me. All right, we got our Rack Pack and our 83. We'll go with the Rack Pack. We're going to save the 83 for last. That is the oldest. All right, here we go. Larry Parrish, Rick Cerone, Willie Wilson. That's got a fish on it. All right, let's see. All right. Collect all 22 All-Star commemorative card. We got 1 to 22. Not bad. It's a start. Of course, we may have to be subscribing to Slaters sports cards for 12 years to get them all, but who knows? Who knows? All right. All right. I guess we'll start with the man of the hour. Andy Hawkins, Vern Rule. Oh, who are we looking for here? Barry Bonds, Bo Jackson, Barry Larkin, and Mark McGwire. So we got a lot of chances here. Pete Incaviglia, Julio Cruz, Bob Rogers, Scott Nielsen, Scott Bales, Don Sutton, Don Say, George Bell, Jim Traber, not bad, Bill Moneyham, Tom Hare, Roy Smalley, Willie Hernandez, Willie Nelson, Carl Best, John Morris, a better backdrop, Gene Michael, Sal Botero, Dave Johnson, Jeff Robinson, Nate Snell, Rick Shue, Gary Reedus. So, didn't we just get him? So we got 2 Sal Boteros. Dave Johnson, manager, Jeff Robinson, Scott Bankhead, Tom O'Malley, Earl Weaver, Bruce Berigny, Rick Cerrone. All right, this is the last hurrah here. Dave Winfield, All-Star. At least we got one of them, 17 and 22. Mark Zabizga, Tim Raines, Ozzie Guillen, Eric Plunk, Sid Fernandez, Rafael Ramirez, Andre Dawson, nice, Tim Lawler, Jim Wolford, Alex Trevino, Dodgers, John Candelara, Dusty Baker. Oh, we got a Pete Rose, nice. Paul Astenmacher, Juan Samuel, and Larry Parrish. That Pete Rose might be the best card we pulled all day. I don't care what anyone says. All right, and our last pack of the day, 1983 Donruss. We're looking for Wade Boggs, Tony Gwynn, or Ryan Sandberg. All right. And these have been authenticated by the Baseball Card Exchange, so as having not been searched. So let's see here. All right, Wade Boggs, Tony Gwynn, or Ryan Sandberg. And we got Ty Cobb, 58, 59, and 60. All right. Just look at these. Lonnie Smith. Just enjoy these cards. That Jim Dwyer, Glenn Gulliver, Tito Landrum, Tug McGraw, Joe Sambito, Vance Law, Dennis Martinez, Glenn Brummer, Ernesto Escargarega. We're running out of cards. Ken Forsch, John Butcher. I actually have that card already. Jeff Reardon, Salome Borojas, and Richie Zisk. All right, so we struck out with that one. That's right, we got a Pete Rose. And look at this. In addition to our big cards and our 2 trivia pieces, look at this stack of cards that we just acquired today. That's going to look good when we put our collections together. But anyway, until next month, this is going to be the longest video of this channel for a while. But until next month, that's your RetroWax for March.